Loading up this morning. Get ready for round 2 on fescue. I got 2 different fertilizer options for round 2 on fescue. Let's get out of here and we'll go talk about them. It's April 2nd today. I started round 2 on fescue yesterday. Obviously, some of them were looking a lot better for round 2 than they were round 1. There were a few that needed a little extra boost, so tried something different on them. I didn't take any video yesterday. It's just rolling along. I don't know how much I'm going to take today. So we're going to come up to the first victim. Get going here. It was a pretty small little fescue yard. It was really sad on round 1, but it looks a lot better for today. Here's another one. Color is not spectacular. Out here on the roadside, there's a buttload of poannua. We got something for all of that. Let's talk about it. All right, so the color in the turf, obviously, our fertilizer is going to work on that, and also a new growth regulator that I'm going to put on it. The new is going to help squash down this poannua. It's going to divert a lot of this surge growth that this super chicken fertilizer I'm getting ready to put on it's going to create into just making healthier crowns and roots instead of just shooting leaf growth straight up for the sky. A new growth regulator is going to help hold all that back and turn it into root production, and it's going to also, in my experience, help suppress this poannua and get it where you don't see the flowers. So we'll revisit this one after I make the application a couple weeks down the road, and you'll see the difference. Let me get to it. I said I had 2 fertilizer choices. This is my DX8 I get made. They even started labeling DX8 for me, but it's part ammonium sulfate, part XCU, which is a slow release urea, sulfate of potash, 4% iron, and biosolids. This is my other thing I'm getting made. Call this one Super Chicken. Half of the bag on this is a calcium infused poultry litter that's been prilled into a fertilizer. It's half urea, half ammonium sulfate for the nitrogen portion, and some iron. Super Chicken. Super Chicken is going to be a quick release and is really going to make the grass take off, so combining the PGR with the Super Chicken might help you control some of that surge growth that you're going to get from it. And also, we're getting out with this round the Subvert Prefix. So there's another jug of it, but we'll shoot that up today at about an ounce per 1,000 rate, so about 43. I'm actually putting 48 ounces per acre out. On the herbicide front on this round, so far the ones that I've gotten back to, we used Cool Power on most of them on round 1, which was in February, and we look pretty good on the weed front. So all I really have to do is come around and spot spray with a little 3-way. I'm actually coming back and spot spraying with the Cool Power because I have a little bit left over, but very, very minimal on the weed front right now, except for a few of them with the POA, and hopefully we're going to address that with the new. And I'm also getting down the round 1. I did a 1 pound application of the WDG 65 per diamine. This time I'm putting about a little shy of a half a pound in there with them to split that application. So I saw a couple little chickweeds. I'm gonna go spot spray. I could have pulled them up probably, but get my trusty flow zone, wherever it is in there. There it is right there, my elbow. Go get that done. I like to try to knock these out by the neighborhood. The 2 that I just went to were a couple that I didn't finish up in one neighborhood yesterday. So this neighborhood that we're going to now is pretty small. But I mow some over here too, and the last time I was over here, These yards were looking really good, so hopefully they still will be for the camera and all, you know. So I can park in one spot here and knock out. I think I got 7 in here to do. So let's check them out. There's one of them. There's another one. I'm sure you can tell really good by this driving around and looking. There's another one right in front of us. I got more over there and 2 at the end down there. This zoysia is actually mine too, and he's chomping at the bit to get it fertilized, and it's too early for me. Yeah, obviously no complaints really with this one. I sometimes will have some trouble with crabgrass on these edges out here, but I've got the one pre-emergent dose down. We're going to put the second half of it down today. Hopefully we will not have issues with that again. But the triple threat plus a little bluegrass in there. It's just us screaming this time of year when it's got what it wants. This one's doing pretty good. This one's Bermuda in the front and fescue in the back. It's attempting to green up a little bit. A couple little weeds popping out here and there. I'm gonna come back and spray this with something out of the warm season machine, but I'm gonna get the back done real quick. Ouch, that's freaking pretty. This PGR, the rest of the pre-emergent, one more fertilizer F on it. This bad boy be ready for the show. That looks good. Most of these in this neighborhood are growing pretty well. They're really thick. I've got one that's newly seeded in the fall, and I'm going to blast a little extra nitrogen to it and really try to push some quick growth with the super chicken. That's what the super chicken looks like. And it's a combination of chicken litter and regular release urea and ammonium sulfate and some iron. Super chicken. Whenever you're in trouble and about to take a licking, just call for super chicken. All right, I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far in the fescue and how the applications on round 1 improve the grass. And of course, you know, by this time of year, fescue should be looking pretty good. And I'm also happy that the cool power worked out really well in February. I don't see a whole lot of weed issues, to be honest. So it looks good on that part. I still got a little bit of fertilizer on the trunk, so I'm going to run over and knock out a few in the front end of this neighborhood here called Kendallwood. And when I use up all the fertilizer, we'll go home and prep to watch this basketball game tonight. Living in North Carolina, I mean, you know, we got Carolina and Duke in the Final Four, and my daughter goes to Carolina, so I feel like I'm paying some of these Carolina players' salary. You know, it is Carolina after all. I think they got to pay them. Pretty sure they do at Carolina. All right, let's get some stuff on his yard. All right, this one was a weed patch last fall. Sprayed it out pretty hard and laid in the triple threat plus. Looking not bad. That way, pretty good size yard. A few little thin spots up around the tree and all, but this is a massive improvement. Looking pretty good. All right, we'll get this one in next. And then go watch some basketball. Let's see. It's not bad. Yeah, this is the time of year everybody loves the fescue. This one is solid. Day is blooming. Tain't bad. I'll take it. Here's yet another one. They're all looking pretty good right now for the most part. Some of them are not as thick as others, but I mean, it's first part of April. Fescue's supposed to look good. So they're doing what they're supposed to be doing right now, at least. Move on to the next one. This one looks pretty good. The grass is pretty thick, but he's got some trivialis spots in it. There's one. Let's see what this anew does to it. There we're gonna do that one. It stretches out over there. It's got a lot of poanua in it. And this one right here, and he's got a poanua crop in this little low spot back here. There's a creek back there, and that kind of doesn't help, but the rest of the lawn looks good. We're going to do this one on this side too, but we're going to get the anew out on this, and maybe I can come back later and show you the effect on some of this poanua. But I mean, in this little gully right here, it's just full of it. The same way on this yard. They're good candidates for some ethyl fumicate in the fall. All right, well, I'm about to knock off for today. Anyhow, I could just ride you around and show you pictures of yards all day, but not really much point to that. They're all looking pretty good. Some of them look better than others. What I'm seeing so far going through the round one applications in late January, early February of the Cool Power worked pretty good on my winter annuals and such that I had in the yards. Most of them are in pretty good shape on the weed front now, and that's kind of the strategy that I always like to take. Is I like to try to knock out any weeds I got in at round one, round two, and I don't want to be dealing with weeds in the summertime in fescue, and I had a lot of that last year because sorry, I'm moving around so much, because I picked up a lot of new fescue accounts in midsummer and they had weeds in them, and it's really hard to pull weeds out of, to kill weeds out of fescue in the summertime, because, you know, one, you beat the plants up so bad, and two, the weeds are already matured to a point where they're harder to kill. Getting the second half of split apple pre-emergent on now, so in January, February, I put down a pound of the actual WDG 65 product. Now coming back and putting down about a half a pound. So I'm getting my full coverage. Like to split the app because that will help you prolong that protection on into August for crabgrass. So everything's looking pretty good on that front. Fertility wise, everything's looking pretty decent, and it should this time of year. In all honesty, fescue's supposed to look good in the early spring. Talk to anybody who's fescue is bragging about their fescue right now, come look at it in August and then see what they got. But you know, we got a game plan for that too, and we'll start in around mid-May on our fungicide program and start running that every 28 to 30 days throughout the summer. So I'm gonna summarize quickly. What you were seeing here in these videos is I'm not spraying all of my fescue with Anew, the growth regulator. If I roll up on one and it's got a lot of POA in it, I'll go ahead and spray it with the Anew, or one that I mow, or one that maybe has some spots that sometimes struggle with shade issues and stuff. I'll go ahead and try to spray those with the Anew. And also round one and round two, which is now, I ran about 1 ounce per 1,000 of the Subvert prefix, and I think that's helped some, and that will help you in some of those shadier areas a little bit too, putting down a little more root, get those grass plants going. We had some damage a few weeks ago from cold weather. If you saw that video where the plants were pumped up full of water and then they froze and exploded basically, all that has pretty much grown out, so that's looking good. So right now we're just gonna wrap up and get these apps done. I've probably got another week worth of fescue to do, then I can jump back on my warm season stuff and the phone calls and everything else and handle that.
I didn't get the video a whole lot, and I'm not really thinking about videoing a whole lot while I'm out here. I got a lot to get done and just rolling through. The beauty of running the permagreen is you can make those judgment calls when you pull up to a property and you want to maybe add in a 3-way herbicide to the tank mix or the growth regulator. You know, with the permagreen you can mix small batches and spray, you know, 1 yard at a time with something custom. So that's pretty cool with the permagreen. Using my 2 different fertilizers, if they're already pretty thick and grown and filled in, I'm just running the DX8 on them. If they look like they need a little more pushing before we get to summer, I've been putting the Super Chicken on them, which is my 2500 with it's not a slow release, but it's got that chicken manure in it, and that's got cow slow release. Different story. Fescue should be looking good right now. That's the moral of the story for early April. I feel like I've beat the new video growth regulator POA control thing to death, but it really does help you out, suppressing those POA annuals and sometimes blending in the colors on the POA trivialis. We'll follow up on some of the ones I did in this video and see how far we got. The greatest thing about the growth regulator is that it just slows down a lot of that surge growth and diverts that energy that the plant would be wasting growing those big tall leaves into developing roots in the crown, so making a overall more healthy plant. That's about all I got on this grass subject, so good luck with your fescue growing out there, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.